when I heard about this, I was ready. My body still isn't ready. And if you see that I'm not wearing sleeves, it's to show off a little on how excited I was for this. I've been excited for a long time. So this is the Fantastic Four Cosmic Clash starter set. This comes with 6 figures, including one of my favorite of all time. I'm very excited to open this bad boy up. And we're going to just crack it right open and look at the pieces as we go. So it's going to be like a full-blown piece-by-piece as well as unboxing video. So we're going to crack this open. Oh, I love it. So we can already see the characters here. We have the Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, The Thing, and Human Torch, along with some beautiful Fantastic Four dice. And funny enough, usually you get these symbols on the 6 for the dice. They're clever. The number 4 on the dice. So there's the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they're not screwing around. They know what's up. So there's all the figures mounted in their beauty and wobbling in my hands. We'll take a look at those in a second. What we will do is crack this open and see what other goodies that they provide us with. Because it's one thing to get, the figures. It's always good to see what else comes in this. Along with, we have 2 maps. We'll talk about that in a second. We have our standard powers and abilities and rule books. Guys, we know. I don't know who it is, but one of you guys keeps stealing them from me. I now have tons of them, which is good news. We have our standard, and one of them fell apart, so both of them. These things come out so easily, they're all kind of coming out right out of the gates. So our standard barrier tokens, special tokens, and smoke cloud tokens. 6 smoke cloud as standard, along with 4 barrier tokens as you require. It's a great way to set up a starter set because that's how those powers work, right? All right. So we have Reed's Lab indoor map. This has a location bonus, and we gotta find out what the location bonus is because there it is. So unstable molecules. It's plus 5 points or 0 points to every character in your starting force, minimum 4, has a Fantastic Four keyword. Location. This map has orange squares labeled 1 to 4. When a friendly character in a numbered orange square attacks or is attacked, modify their corresponding combat value by plus 1. On square number 1, you get attack. Square number 2, you get extra range. Square number 3, you get extra defense. Square number 4, you get extra damage. If that character is named Mr. Fantastic, you can choose which combat value except speed to modify. Constellation, if the beginning of the game generate 4 past experiment markers anywhere on the map, not within 4 squares of a starting area. Friendly characters occupying those squares modify attack plus 1. So even the constellation is actually really good on this. If we take a look at the map, crack that bad boy open. So the number 1 is a big area, number 2 is a big area, 3 and 4. They're actually large areas. They're not just single squares, which you don't usually see in something like this. Individual rooms. So this is kind of like similar to the Wizkids office, which we're actually kind of sat on. Number of rooms. It's a good solid indoor map with some places to hide, as well as some really nice areas. It looks like there's a lot of glass on these, unfortunately. There's blue dotted lines. Is that glass or is that something else? Don't remember. Either way, it looks like these are really solid areas with which to get your extra stats out of. So, very cool. The other side of this, not a constellation bonus map. It is Yancey Street Outdoors. This is your typical alleyway setup map. Elevated terrain on one side, a little bit of blocking construction area on the other. Elevated in the corners here. Little air conditioning units on the top of it. Generally, we see this a lot. Street lamps are hindering. One thing they added to this map is the skirmish roll location. So in skirmish, you roll where your characters start, and they actually numbered them out on there, which is a really good, nice touch that they added to help speed up the whole skirmish process. Very cool on both sides. I love the location bonus on Reed's Lab. So check out that map if for your Fantastic Four theme teams. There's no extra cost. I mean, honestly, how can you go wrong with that? The other side, or the other map we have, and I already know what one of these sides does, and it doesn't change my excitement. It is, I believe it is, what is it actually called? So I know. Doom's Castle Outdoors. You missed it. It's Doomstad. The location bonus on this one Reign of Terror, plus 5 points, or 0 points if every character on your starting force has the Latveria keyword. The location bonus is, at the beginning of a game, choose a friendly character. Once per turn, when that character rolls for leadership, you may re-roll the result. If that character is named Dr. Doom, they increase their roll for leadership by plus 1. The constellation is once per game. When a friendly character would roll for leadership, they automatically succeed. Now, that's good on its own. Latveria is going to need a little bit of growing. It's a little bit of a low availability keyword, to say the least. But overall, it's... I mean, when you see the Dr. Doom, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just good. The map itself, if we crack this bad boy open, big old piece of blocking terrain in the middle that looks like Dr. Doom. So we got the big old statue of Dr. Doom that's blocking terrain here. This is an outdoor map, so it's kind of like on the outskirts. Elevated terrain at either end, elevated terrain in the middle here, fairly symmetrical in that sense. Hindering terrain spots. It's not a lot of hindering terrain. It's not ideal for a lot of stealth teams. But this is just a solid map with a lot of hiding spots that is also something of a nightmare for Colossals to, hide in, because outdoor blocking does nothing for them. So I like it. I'm going to use it. We'll talk about that in a minute. The other side we have is the testing grounds outdoors. Big old elevated terrain in the middle. Looks like that's going to be kind of your sniper point. A lot of blocking on the outside. Once again, it's an outdoor map. Not ideal for Colossal characters. But just in general, cool map. It's not like ideal for specific teams, but the terrain itself it lends itself for some really cool positioning for lower smaller characters, not Colossals or Giants. But Colossals and Giants will be able to take advantage and see over things by taking the hiding spots away from a lot of characters. So overall, very cool maps in this starter set. All of them very usable, especially if you're playing Skirmish and you got the Yancey Street. I mean, how can you argue with that one, right? But let's get to the meat and potatoes, the characters themselves. Oh, wait, there's more. There isn't just characters, guys. There's bystander tokens. Nice. So we actually have the Yancey Gang, which you get 6 of. I'll show you that on the small camera. Let me just get that up and started again. So we got the Yancey Gang. They have Sidestep, Precision Strike, and Empower. They are... How many points? They are... it's right under their name. They're 15 points a pop. They also have the Underworld keyword. Or Underworld team ability. What does that go for? Do they have keywords? I don't understand. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. But on the other side, some of these they're all double-sided. So there's the Latvian Explosion. We'll see maybe there's a scenario in there for that. But there's also the Yancey Pickpocket, which comes with that wit. And yes, the Doombot for 25 points, which has running shot, precision strike, 18 defense with shape change. We have some more Doombots in the other one. This one's falling apart, which is fine. They're all going to come out anyway. Latvian Engineers as well. So the Doombots, we've seen them. They're 25 points. Latvian Engineers, Sidestep, and a special ability. What is the special ability? Latvian Tech, Perplex and Support, but both only to target characters with the Armor, Robot, or Latveria keywords. On the other side of the Doombot, there is nothing to be said. So all of that, neat. Latvian Explosions, I wonder what's going on with that. Could be part of scenario play. I don't see... Oh, here we go. We got scenarios. Hey, how about that? The Doombots seem like a decent include. The Yancey Street Gang seemed like a bit of a hefty investment, to say the least. But, Yancey Gang, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. All right. So let's get the scenarios out. So... Oh, scenarios and campaigns. So this is something a lot of players demand. Not necessarily like myself, but so we have the campaign rule, scenario F, like all little scenarios. The premise here, Doom's plot, foil, he retreats to his castle, map, Doom's castle. Setup, Fantastic Four player begins with 100-point Mr. Fantastic, so on and so forth. Doom player begins with 300-point Dr. Doom, 5 Doombots, and 2 less. So they have setup scenarios, and then special rules for each of these scenarios. These are neat little things because... there's a lot of casual play, and casual players love this kind of stuff. Like, this stuff really adds some meat to the casual play market. And in addition to which, when you have these little scenarios, they help people understand different elements of the game. So, And it also gives your bystanders a little bit of extra use. This is great for something like a starter set where you're really trying to get people into the game. So take a peek at those when you crack open your Cosmic Clash. Maybe I'll spend a couple seconds in another video discussing those. But it's time. It's time. Indeed it is. So we're going to start with the Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer has the Annihilators, Defenders, Cosmic, and Herald keywords. Behold the power Cosmic. Free. Choose a standard attack power. Until your next turn, Silver Surfer can use the chosen power, and characters he hits can't use the chosen power. His special movement power, which he has intermittently, all of his starting clicks though. Hypersonic speed. When Silver Surfer uses it, he may be given a range action at no cost instead of making an attack. So you can use that in conjunction with Psychic Blast if you happen to choose it with the Behold the Power Cosmic. Special damage power, which he has intermittently as well. Free. Choose an improved targeting ability except ignore blocking to use until your next turn. He can choose ignores blocking breakthrough because that only breaks through one piece of blocking. He's got the Power Cosmic and Defender's keywords, team abilities. And he comes at 300, 200, or 100 points. Probability control all throughout the dial as well. Very cool. I don't see a 300-point version of him necessarily being dominating. But the 100-point dial could be seeing some competitive play. But generally, this is a good character to introduce the idea of a lot more complex powers, as well as just a lot of general power use. Interesting take on the Silver Surfer for starting players. All right, next up. Oh, goodness me. I panicked for a second, and guys, these are switch clicks, so fairly warned. Don't panic. Do not panic like I just did. I thought I broke my thing. Thing has Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy celebrity keywords. It's clobbering time. Power. If no other friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character within 4 squares of a friendly character with the Fantastic Four keyword that was attacked since your last turn. Place the thing such that he can make a close attack targeting a chosen character, then do so if he hits and his attack roll is 10 or more. After resolutions, remove an attack power from him. So kind of a version of Colossal Retaliation that's traded on him, so not terrible. But it is also a power action, so it is like his action. Special movement power, which gives him charge and ignores blocking for movement and breaks through it. Special defense power, ain't feeling so good, Stretcho. Stop, but only if another friendly character with a Fantastic Four keyword is on the map. That stop click also comes with invulnerability. He's got the Fantastic Four keyword, or team ability, sorry. With this, when this character is KO'd after resolutions, heal each other friendly character using this team ability, when this character is KO'd after resolutions, each other friendly character using this team ability heals 1 click. Just have to get my enunciations right. And he comes in at either 100 or 75 points. He's got his special movement power on his first click on either one. He does have some flurry splattered in there. This is a good introduction to your solid brick house close combat character that has super strength across the board. Very high attack off the top, so that you can really get that feel on the hits, and some empower throughout to show that he's a bit of a team player. Typical thing type character. All right, next up. Jeez, stop scaring yourself, Jason. Next up is the Human Torch. He's got Fantastic Four, Inhuman, Spider-Man Family, Celebrity, and Herald keywords. He ignores characters for movement. Then he's got this trait, the Flame Trail, once per turn for all characters with this trait. When Human Torch moves, after resolutions, choose a character he moved through or adjacent to and deal it 1 penetrating damage. His special attack power is poison, but may use it even if moved or placed this turn. And his special defense power, stop. Ben, where are you? Stop, but only if another friendly character with the Fantastic Four keyword is on the map. That gives him energy explosion or energy shield deflection. He's got the Fantastic Four team ability. He's playable at 100 or 75 points. He's got the special attack power, kind of intermittent. So the flame on, the poison that you can move with, is harder to kind of pull off, but the flame trail really kind of gets a feel for it. This is a good introduction to a character who can hit from a distance and can't really take much once he does get hit, but is hard to hit at a distance as well. So again, this is the type of character you want to introduce players with, and just make them understand certain fundamentals of the game that just exist in general. So you like the Thing is your tough guy, close combat guy, whereas the Human Torch is your soft shooting dude. And that's all okay as I put the Invisible Woman back together. Ha! Spoiler alert! Invisible Woman is Fantastic Four, Lady Liberators, Celebrity, and Scientist keywords. She ignores hindering for line of fire. Hide and seek, free, choose one. Until your next turn, opposing characters can't target Invisible Woman unless they began their turn within 3 squares of her. Or terrain markers are considered clear for line of fire this turn if Invisible Woman's within 4 squares of them. She's got a special defense power. You'd be surprised what lengths I can go when pushed. Barrier, toughness, and willpower. When Invisible Woman uses barrier after resolutions, you may knock back 2 squares any number of opposing characters adjacent to those markers. Johnny, stay with me. Is her special damage power. Stop, but only if another friendly character with a Fantastic Four keyword is on the map. Shape change is what she gets from it. She's got shape change kind of late in the 100 or 75 point dial. Very high defense, which is typical of Invisible Woman's design across the board. Sidestep, telekinesis. This is a really cool, awesome character, especially her hide and seek trait. Her hide and seek trait is what makes this very unassuming character really stand out. And her barrier, the ability to knock back characters when she barriers, is pretty awesome. So overall, a very solid Invisible Woman. So keep your eyes on this character when it comes to competitive play or just play in general. It's also a good character to just kind of ease people into the more complicated elements of the game. I kind of like that. You know, this is a starter set if you're starting a player who's not necessarily new to games in general, which is great. It's not taking players for granted, really, is what I like about it. All right, next up. I got something in mind. Yeah. There it is. All right. Mr. Fantastic. The arch enemy to my favorite character. And also just really cool dude in general as far as superheroes go. Fantastic Four, Illuminati, Celebrity, and Scientist keywords. Ignores elevated and hindering from movement. His trait, I'm pretty good at multitasking. Plasticity and shape change. When Mr. Fantastic uses shape change after resolutions, place that D6 with that result on this card, replacing any here. He's got a giant reach of X, where X is 2 or the value of that die on this card, whichever is bigger. Special defense power, we're going to be fine, Sue. Stop, but only if another friendly character with the Fantastic Four keyword is on the map, and that gives him super senses. The special damage power, you'll find Mr. Fantastic more than a match for you every time. Leadership and outwit, free. Choose an opposing character of higher points within 4 squares in line of fire and a power or standard or special they can use. The chosen character can't use that power until your next turn. This is neat because it adds in, because to a new player, a character like the Silver Surfer is going to have that feel bad when you have the Outwit Mr. Fantastic, but you can't use it on him. That will now turn around when you use that second half of Outwit, and that tells people the Power Cosmic isn't necessarily that thing that's going to be the be-all, end-all. It's just a thing. So, Mr. Fantastic comes in with this particular dial, 100 or 75 points. He is indomitable, which is nice. And he has that special damage power intermittent throughout the dial, not necessarily in places you want it, but it's still solid. This is a pretty good Mr. Fantastic. I still like the Invisible Woman better for like competitive play, but a good teaching character to teach players, you know, the values of things like leadership and outwit, along with perplex and other support powers. So good job on that one, guys, over at Wizkids. But the piece de resistance, the one that I've been looking forward to the most, none other, the man who runs Latveria, the King, Dr. Doom. He's got the Cabal, Latveria, Armor, Cosmic, Mystical, Politician, Ruler, and Scientist keywords. This is a good introduction into, this is a guy who is designed to be an army. Don't get me wrong, the Silver Surfer is really cool, but I think this is more designed to show players, hey, you can try to do it with just one. So, his first trait, only Doom is fit to rule, and you'll see why this works with the map. Leadership, but instead removes the action token from himself. When Dr. Doom uses it and succeeds until your next turn, he has ignores hindering for line of fire and protected mind control and outwit. Other powers and abilities can't remove action tokens from Dr. Doom. So he can remove or he can use leadership to remove action tokens from himself. Which is, is showing players, hey, we're going to break the rules of a specific power. And then it's going to protect him from certain powers. Some of them don't really show up in this necessarily. Like, there's not a lot of mind control in here. But it does, give you that outwit protection from Mr. Fantastic on certain situations. This special attack power, Photon Array, Energy Explosion. When Doctor Doom hits with a range attack, after resolutions, give each hit character an action token. If you can't, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. Giving players another example of what is like Incapacitate, but specifically using those rules, so that when they see in the future that those rules aren't there, I think it's a good move. You have Anger Doom as a special defense power. Stop Toughness. When Doctor Doom is targeted with an attack, you may choose a standard defense power that you haven't chosen this turn. Doctor Doom can use that power for this attack. He's got a special damage power. Few men are as subtle as Doctor Doom. Outwit. Free. Choose an opposing character of lower points within 4 squares in line of fire and a power, standard or special, they can use. The chosen character can't use that power into. So you get that idea that Mr. Fantastic is doing it to characters who are better than him. Doctor Doom does it to characters who are weaker than him. Then here's his power list. He starts with a special attack power. On every single line, he has a stop clicks intermittent throughout there, but that kind of bring him to some running shot, pulse wave in some cases. He's got the Doom team ability, which has changed. Minions of Doom is now... Back in the day, it used to be a wild card. Now, when this character KOs a standard opposing character, after resolutions, he'll 1-click on a friendly character using this team ability. It's kind of the counterpoint to the Fantastic Four team ability, where they have to die, and they're kind of using it as a team thing. He uses it to try to just kill... he capitalizes off of getting the advantage. So, is this guy going to be played? Am I playing in the tournament? That's the question you have to ask. Because if I'm playing in the tournament, you're going to see this guy. He's playable at 300, 200, or 100 points. I'm going to test him at 300. I'm going to try him at 200 and 100 as well. I'm really excited for this character. I love it. I'm looking forward to really giving him the good college try. And he's going to be my Doctor Doom until the full-blown Fantastic Four set comes out. So that said, Wizkids, thank you so much for sending this to us. I've been very excited, especially for that Doctor Doom, for this Fantastic Four set. It's a good time to see the Fantastic Four in the game of HeroClix again. Just overall, really hyped for this, and especially for the Doctor Doom, of course. But everything in there is really cool. Great entry level, strong figures, and that I think is one of the things the starter sets seem to lack. Is this one has starter set figures that not only are you able to learn how to play the game with, but you're able to come in there and play the game and kind of come in with a little bit more gas into some of those harder tournaments. So once again, kudos to Wizkids. Thank you for providing this for us. Thank you for sending it, or thank you for making it in general, making it as awesome as it is. And thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you guys again on another episode.